Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MetsXMFanZone Live Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Gennaro, and we're here to give you guys everything New York Mets, live streams, and much, much more. If you guys love our channels, please always tweet, like, and subscribe, and it gives you everything New York Mets 24/7 right here on our channel. We are we are actually doing a radio today in our podcast, a little different than usual. We have a lot of things to talk about. We got Max Scherzer on the mound for the New York Mets today. Today is opening day for the New York Mets and for Miami Marlins. Very interesting to hear on what what we're basically going to be talking about today. But if you guys have any questions for me, please feel free to comment in the comment section down below because we're going to answer all questions that you guys might have. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Twitter, and we're also live on Facebook Live. So if you guys would like to join the conversation, please make sure to comment in the comment section down below. We don't have our live calling chat today because we're not in New York, so we don't have it all set up, or we're kind of like doing this on a cuff. So, and we're working on our whole mobile integration. So I think when we come back and go back to New York, I think we're gonna have that all settled pretty much for you guys, so you guys could call in, and if you guys have any questions or stuff like that, we'll be able to do the whole live call in when we go back into New York. So I think you guys gonna call in, ask your questions, anything you guys might have. Give you guys news updates, give you guys updates of our website because we're always putting new stuff on there, and we're also doing some live content on there. We got a lot of live content on the website, so we are like constantly keep posting things up and updates. Updates through our live streams, updates through our mobile integration because we're trying to get our app working. So we have our Android app, but a lot of you guys have been hitting me up on the iOS part. They're like, "Oh, any news on the iOS? When you guys going to finally have it coming too?" So I mean, to let you guys know, if you want to use the mobile integration, you could do that by going onto the iOS part. I guess you could, like, if you have Chrome on your iOS, you could basically do it that way. But if you have an Android, you could basically save it and put it on our main screen. So you could do it that way in two ways. You could download it, or you could also kind of like Chrome favorite, whatever you want to do with that. So we are going to give you guys the lineup today. We're going to talk on the lineup. We're going to talk a little bit on the website because many of you little. I take the criticism. I'll put it this way. I take a lot of criticism on the website. Some people are for it, some people are not for it, which I'm all for that. Because there are freeloaders in the United States, and it's okay. I'm not worried about that in any sort of way. Everybody has their economy is up, but we want to give you guys your New York Mets, everything Mets. So with that being said, all power to people that want to go out there and try to get their Met coverage. With MetsXMFanZone Enterprise, you're getting everything up front. You're not getting any hassles when you sign up. You're not getting any issues when you go into the website. We got fully flawless live streams now because we've been working throughout all of spring training, and we have two different ways that you could view our content. You can view it on the website, or if you want, you can view our free services through our social media. And And a lot of people appreciate it, a lot of people don't. So, there are going to be the haters out there. There are going to be people that don't like the way we do things. And I'm okay. I'm open to suggestions. But in regards to our comments on social media, they're going to be limited. They're going to be taken off if you guys are hate mongering, whatever. There's so much hate in this country; it's ridiculous. Absolutely privileged people. I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to go into a whole political, discussion here. But there are a lot of haters, and I kind of love the haters because some people don't know how to handle it, and some people do. And I'm a professional, and I'm not going to be like a Salicata or I'm going to or anybody from the WFAN. I won't do that, but I'll definitely tell you guys that I'll take criticism, and I'm probably going to. Just what it is. When you're a podcaster, people hate on your success. So, uh, I mean, it is what it is, and people go out there and make content. And I look at it this way. I talk Mets news, and I love talking about Mets news. I've been in the organization. I played. I was a player. I did play single A ball. I didn't. I played like maybe 4 games in single A ball before I tore my rotator cuff and couldn't play anymore. So 4 games. That's insane, isn't it? So I mean, it was very short lived. But I mean, I played my whole life, and now I'm doing my own thing. So and then when I figured out that being a Mets podcaster and talking Mets was something that I love doing, and a lot of people enjoy it. So I really do. I really do appreciate all the people that love hearing me and love asking me questions and how do I know things and what I know and what I don't know. And I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people like love to doubt. Criticism. A lot of people like to doubt what you know and what you don't know, and the people who you do know and who you don't know. And it's so funny is because the people that I look at it this way, the people that rain on other people's success, I feel that are sad people. So I mean, it is what it is. So we're gonna give you guys some updates today. We're gonna go out of that segment, but let's give you guys some updates for today's game. So, firstly, today on Thursday, New York Mets for opening day. We have Max Scherzer on the mound for the New York Mets, and for Miami, we have Sandy Alcantara for Miami. Now, I don't see the lineup out just yet for the New York Mets, but I will give you guys the lineup for the Marlins in today's game. We got Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. We got Max Scherzer for the New York Mets. Game will be starting at 4:10. If you guys want to chime on in and check out the streams, we will have it on our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. We for just $20 a month or even $6.99 a month. Well, it's not a month. Well, it's $6.99 a week. You guys can get fully no advertisement Met streams. Now, I want to talk about a little bit on that just real quick before I go into the whole show. Why are we different from every other service provider? Well, number one, we don't live stream advertisement. We don't do ad pop-ups on our streams. If you go to any sort of website, MLB 66, or if you're going to any other website for that matter, we have the rights and the permissions. First of all, I owe no explanation, but I will say it anyway. We have the rights and permissions to do Mets broadcasting. So that's number one. Number two, we have rights to a live stream. Number three, we have no pop-ups, no advertisement. We advertise ourselves. That's it. We don't go out, we don't advertise anybody else's company or any affiliations to anybody else's companies. We don't do it unless they come to us. That's pretty much it. They come to us. That's a different story, and then we advertise it out to you guys. So that's that. But if anybody's going to come on to our broadcasting and try to think they can manipulate me or my staff or email my staff or talk to my staff or even for me for that matter and think they can get away with it, it doesn't work like that. So I'll take the criticism, but expect it back. Just put it that way. And so, and plus, if I'm getting criticism, I'm doing something right. All right. So that being said, MetsXMFanZone.com gives you no bullshit. Basically, that's what it should be. No bullshit. No bullshit ads. No bullshit advertisement. No pushing in anything. We give you guys 100% Mets live coverage. We have organic news where it's coming strictly from us. So if you're reading blogs, you're not going to see any one of those goddamn blogs anywhere else. It's just what it is. You're going to be reading news from my people and from me. So that's strictly on that. And plus, I'm a writer, so I've been writing for many years, and I've been writing for baseball for a very long time. So that being said, I know people in a lot of places, and a lot of people know who I am. So you gain organic news on our website. Not only that, then you're getting through Mets coverage. You're getting live streams. No pop-ups. No bullshit. You're not dealing with that. I mean, do we push merchandising? We don't really push merchandising because it's coming directly from the source. Tickets. You guys want to get tickets? You guys can get tickets. It's no hoopla. We're giving you directly right to the sources. Right to the sources. And we're going to give you straight up laced Met news. None of that hyping news that you're going to hear from others. So I never worry about that. And plus, it's everything Mets. Everything is Mets. Strictly Mets. Not Yankees. Not the Braves. Strictly Mets. And I think you guys got to really enjoy the coverage that we broadcast, and you guys got to really the platform. We have our weeklies, we have our monthly, and we have our yearlies, and plus all the money that comes in through our website, we do a really good cause, and we want to help veterans. So that goes to Tunnel for Towers. We are big supporters of Tunnel for Towers, and some proceeds will go to them. We want to give back. We will give back, and we want you guys to give back. Support our veterans, support our nation, and this is why we are free, the land of the free, home of the brave, right? So you guys, you're getting your money's worth when you come to us. So I want people to come and check it out. Come check out our streams, because you know what? You're not missing anything. You are getting everything that you see. Anything that you see, you're seeing it. Met live streams, no pop-ups. You got a small, simple form that you just sign up. You just put in your information. You put in your credentials. Boom, takes you right to the live stream. log in right to the live stream. You don't ever have to worry about clicking on anything else. I mean, do we have other things? We have other things. We got fan access where you guys can go to the shop if you guys would like to shop for anything. We have some of our sister providers if you want to check those out. We have our team. We got our My Team where you got tickets. You guys can, if you guys want to, get tickets at a cheap, easy, reliable source app, you could do that. We have our Mets gallery where we're always going to constantly be posting pictures up on there. Shots that, from me or from my staff, you'll always see on there. You'll see the Mets roster, and which is really cool about our Mets roster is that this year we made the website more mobile friendly for everybody. So if you're using a tablet or if you're using a phone, it's great. And plus you can even contact my members through phone, you can contact through email, or you can contact through text message. And we do everything through text messages because a lot of people, it's more convenient for people, text messages. You'll never see emails from us, very rare. You'll never see us do any promotions, ever. It's one thing and that's it. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy the platform because the platform, it's everything. Who wants to hear Yankees? Not me. If I was a Mets fan, I want to hear everything Mets. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy the platform. Check it out. Go to MetsXMFanZone.com because you are not getting any bullshit. And plus, you're just getting our live games. You're getting game preview. You're getting everything. So check it out today. And I really do appreciate it if you guys do that by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. And plus, if you want to show your support. You don't have to go to the website. Show your support here. We have that star notification where you can show your support. You can be like, hey, I want to help this guy. I want to help. Boom. Okay. What's $1 to you? That's kind of how I look at it. Because if you guys show your support, it keeps me going on with the platform. So I really do appreciate it if you guys do that. So anyway, enough with talking about the website. So let's get into today's matchup. So we got Max Scherzer on the mound for the New York Mets. We got Sandy Alcantara for Miami. And the game starts at 4:10. We are here in Miami. So you guys are probably wondering why you don't see me on camera because I am just doing a radio, kind of like radio feed at this moment. But not tomorrow, on Monday, when we go live on our Monday broadcast. So just to let you guys know, we have a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when we go live on our broadcast. We do record throughout the whole entire week. So you will see our podcast being uploaded on the days off. So if you miss anything, you could always get it. It's available on all of our platforms: Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast. You're able to get it on all of our platforms. So you guys could definitely check it out that way. So let's go ahead and give you guys one part of the lineup for today's game. So we got batting first, playing second base for Miami Marlins is Luis Arrizia. Batting second, playing third base will be Gene Segura. Then we have batting third, playing first base is Garrett Cooper. Batting fourth, playing center field is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Then we have batting fifth and DHing for today's game is Jorge Soler. Batting sixth and playing right field is Avisaíl Garcia. Batting seventh and playing left field is Brian De La Cruz. Batting eighth, catching behind the dish today is Jacob Stallings. And batting playing shortstop for Miami Marlins is Joey Wendell. I don't have the lineup for the New York Mets just yet. I believe. But I will give you guys see if I could give you guys my predicted lineup, I would say, for the Mets. See if I have it. Just pulling it up. I'm pulling it up on my phone here. Sorry guys, I don't have my computer with me. Not at this moment. Still stuck in a hotel over here. Okay, so we have Batten first playing, which obviously we know this lineup is probably going to be the Mets lineup. So we got Batten first playing center field would be Brandon Nimmo for today's game. Batten second in right field would be Sterling Marte. Batten third playing shortstop would be Francisco Lindor. Batting fourth and playing first base for the New York Mets would be Pete Alonso. More than likely, DHing for today's game would probably be Tim LeCastro. Batting sixth and playing second base would be Jeff McNeil. Batting seventh and playing left field would be Mark Hanna. Batting eighth and playing third base would probably be Eduardo Escobar. And batting ninth behind the dish would be Omar Narvaez. For some odd reason, I always keep saying this guy's name wrong. I keep saying Nieves. It's not Nieves. It's Narvaez. So I finally got it right. So that would more than likely be the progression of today's lineup. Now, who do I see that really would stand out for the Mets in today's game? Two guys I'm pretty interested in seeing start off the season would be Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo is a guy that the Mets did sign in the offseason. They signed him to a nice hefty contract. I mean, everybody loves a Brandon Nimmo. I mean, everybody in the league wants a Brandon Nimmo. So it's very interesting on what he could do this year. I think if he stays really healthy and, no injuries, no nothing to him this year, he's going to have a really good year. He's not really much of a big power bat. I do think that the Mets should still go out for a big power bat, in my honest opinion. If the Mets wanted to be really smart here, I would like to go out and see probably Ohtani. I mean, he's probably a guy that should be on the Mets' radar in this year. And why do I say that? Because, obviously he's got a good bat. He plays good offense and he plays good defense. And plus, he's a guy that could play two different positions. He plays center. He could go out and play center field, but he could also pitch when you need him. So he could be like that fifth man rotation sort of guy. So, right next to Max Scherzer and right next to Justin Verlander, he could very well be maybe your third starter. So, I mean, he's a guy that I'm really interested in seeing. But if I had to really pick another guy that I want to see in this matchup in today's game, we know that with Alcantara, he's a very hard ball pitcher. And the thing is that, not many guys get hit off of Alcantara. He's a very good pitcher. But the Mets lineup has a very good hitting lineup. The Mets don't strike out very often. Last year, we were third in the league in strikeouts. So the Mets didn't strike out very often because you got a lot of good hitters on this club, Tim LeCastro included. So if he's going to be starting in today's game, he's definitely a really good addition because we know he could bunt. He's a good bunter. He could steal. He could run. He could hit. And that was a really good move, I feel, with Billy and what Billy Epler did and also what Buck did, bringing him in. If you guys looked at the roster in the last day or so, who's still on that roster? We have Ronnie Mauricio. So I'm really interested. I'm wondering why Ronnie Mauricio is still on that 26-man roster. So, I mean, he's a guy that I'm very excited to end up seeing. But in today's matchup against Alcantara, we all know that Sterling Marte had a very good, successful career against Sandy Alcantara. He was 4-8. He was 14-8 with a 3.66 against Sandy Alcantara. So Sterling Marte is a guy that hits very well in against him. So that's very interesting to see in today's matchup if he's going to still continue to hit against Alcantara. And plus him coming off the injury, finally coming in, and he looked really good in spring. So I mean, I wasn't too disappointed. I mean, he really had a really good spring. Honestly, I was really excited in seeing what he could do. But I mean, this line, it's like when you look at it's so funny because when you look at the Mets lineup, everybody could pull it through here. Everybody, starting with Brendan Nimmo, start with Sterling Marte, start with Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is your power bat. I mean, everybody says, "Hey, we need a power bat." Yeah, we do need a power bat. I mean, you like Pete Alonso to give you want another big bopper that will go and give you home runs as well. I mean, could Omar Narvaez be that guy? And I don't like that Narvaez is all the way down the lineup because I think with his bat, I want to see him a little bit up. I want to see him at the sixth, batting sixth, because he's a good yin yang sort of hitter. Because he could hit against Sandy Alcantara. So I want to see him maybe bat sixth and maybe bring Jeff McNeil down. Why I say I want Jeff McNeil down on the lineup because you got the middle of the rotation, which is probably going to be Marquena. Marquena could hit, but then again, he's kind of like that weak link on that lineup. So if I wanted to put a guy, and plus also you got Daniel Vogelbach, which is probably Daniel Vogelbach will probably be your number 5. But I want to see a like. It's hard to really kind of explain. Like I want to see Marquena in the middle of that lineup. Like if he can't do it, then obviously Daniel Vogelbach will probably do it. So I mean, I wouldn't want to put them two together. I want to have a good strong bat, which would be more than likely Jeff McNeil. So having Jeff McNeil being under Marquena would probably be a good benefit, in my honest opinion, because then you have Eduardo Escobar coming right after him. So I like Escobar. I want to see more of a flexibility. I want to see more flexibility in that lineup. So you got your good power up top, you got your good power down on bottom, but then again, you want to fall right in between on who could be, who can't do it in many ways, on who could really do it in ways, who kind of like is that weak link in that lineup. And I can deal with having a little bit of a weak link there in the middle. So if McKenna is kind of your weak link at this point, and that's kind of how I see that, which then you got Ronnie Mauricio. He could very well come off the bench. So if I wanted to have Marquena be in that slot, probably your 7, I would want to see Marquena probably number 5. I would put Marquena as your number 5, and maybe Daniel Vogelbach as your number 7. But keeping Jeff McNeil at 6. It contemplates on who's pitching and what sort of game, what sort of field that we got here. I want to go more feeling than statistic wise, because I mean, we now live in a modern era where we're all talking about analytics and we're all talking about statistics and who could hit where and who could hit and who could do what. If you look at Mark Kenna's career against Sandy Alcantara, it hasn't been very successful. So he was, let's see, what is it? I think he was, have it here in my show notes. He was 4-28 with a 1.68 ERA. So, I mean, that hasn't been really that good. So, and plus that was down in the far. So, I mean, you kind of want to, play the two a little bit, but I think that with Mark Kenna, Mark Kenna is probably your weak link in that lineup. And then we could talk about who is going to be the strongest part of your lineup. And I would say Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, and Brandon Nimmo. And you got Starling Marte, but it's hard to really say in my honest opinion about who's your strongest. I think Pete Alonso is more your strong point, in my honest opinion. And the weak link was Darren Ruff. So the Mets did end up releasing Darren Ruff. And I did say a couple of days ago, I said, Darren Ruff is going to be starting. We heard, and I was talking with reporters and I was talking with people and they were like, oh, Darren Ruff is going to be here. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then the very next day, nobody knew. Honestly, nobody even knew about it until the very next day that Darren Ruff was released. It was a very next day situation. So that was kind of like caught everybody by surprise. So with that being said, Darren Ruff is now gone. You want to have a good bat. Ronnie Mauricio and Tim LaCastro are probably going to be your two guys coming off that bench. However, I think that with Ronnie Mauricio, I think they're probably going to put him back down. I don't think he's going to be here. So I think that was. I'll find out more on why you were still in the 26-man rotation. So I'll find out about that. And just to let everybody know, I don't see the lineup out yet. So hopefully we'll be doing another broadcast at 2:00. We're going to be so I'll come on and I'll talk real quick. I don't see. I know I have it in my show notes, but okay, don't have it. All right, so let's go ahead and give you guys the pitching matchup today. So again, we had Max Scherzer on the mound for the New York Mets. We got Sandy Alcantara for the New York Mets as well. But we have no surprise to hear that the New York Mets selected Max Scherzer to be your opening day pitcher, because Max Scherzer obviously is your ace on this ball club. I mean, we have really in Justin Verlander, but I think Verlander, how I look at it this way, everybody wants to go out there and go on a limb and say, we got older pitchers, but you know what? You got to also remember something too, that these pitchers are veteran pitchers, and we know what they could do. So that being said, Max Scherzer, of course, he's going to be your ace. He's definitely. We knew that. Everybody knew. So he is going to be starting for today's game. Now, who's going to be starting on the second game? So we have reports that in the second game, Kodai Senga will be pitching the second game. But I mean, what can we talk about him? I mean, the Mets brought him in from Japan. He was that top, talk about guy in Japan, and the Mets, really liked him, and so the Mets ended up signing him. I think that was a really good pickup from what I seen, the coverage that I saw out of him. I mean, they talk about the ghost pitch and whatnot. I think he's going to be a really good pitcher for the Mets. So he is going to be starting on the second game, and then on the third game, we're going to have Carlos Carrasco on the third game. So we heard that. Fourth game will probably be David Peterson, and then the fifth would probably be David Peterson. So those are the guys that you're going to want to. And then Verlander is going to be pitching for the home game when the Mets come back to New York. So that's definitely in the bag, and that's been confirmed that Verlander will be pitching the first game at home. We have the Marlins series. So how the series are going to be working is that we got the Marlins series, 3 games, and we got the Padres series, and then we have the National series. So we got a pretty good scheduling. I feel that the Mets do have a pretty good scheduling this year. It's not, more international play. Well, not international, more, out of the coast sort of teams that we are playing this year. We're not seeing so much of the Nationals, not seeing so much of the Phillies this year. I like on how that, you're not going to be playing the same teams over and over and over again like we do with Philly and like we do with the Nationals or Miami. So I really do like that. We'll probably see Cleveland in here. I don't know about the White Sox. I don't think the Mets have any games with the White Sox. I think they have maybe 1 or 2. And then obviously the Yankee series that the Mets have, like they always do in June and July. So I think there's going to be a lot of good matchups this year. And plus, with the new additions, Kodai Senga, Justin Verlander, and then you got David Robertson in the bullpen. And so, a lot of good arms that the Mets did bring in. But, there has been a lot of disappointments too, hearing about Edwin Diaz, and that was a big blow. That really was for the Mets, that he got hurt. And now we need somebody to come in and step up. So who could do that? I think it could be Tommy Pham, maybe David Robertson. No, I'm sorry, not Tommy Pham. Robinson, maybe Drew Smith could probably definitely be Drew Smith. I think Drew Smith has a really good arm. I like what Drew Smith did last year, in my honest opinion. With the couple of the saves that he did have early on. He had a couple. I think he had four saves. But he came in good for the Mets. Also, which I really was confident in Edwin Diaz. He had such a great season. It's been a blow that he got hurt. I was really surprised about him getting hurt. It's just it happens. There's really nothing that you can do, but it was a big blow. And even with Bryce Montez, Diacoa, if I want to pronounce his last name correctly, he was another big blow. He's going to get Tommy John surgery, which we heard. That was also a big blow for the Mets too. Who else? I think that was pretty much it in regards to injuries. But I think this year the Mets got a lot to offer, in my honest opinion, because we got a lot of prospects too. Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty, we had that came in last year. Ronnie Mauricio, Danny Mendick, which was pretty good. Mark Ventos. Oh, I was a little disappointed with. I mean, a lot of people like him. To me personally, I'm not a Mark Ventos sort of guy. I want to see Mark Ventos probably, be really good, but I was really disappointed in him, to be honest. I didn't think he had a really good summer. I mean, really good spring. So, I mean, I'm interested in seeing on what those guys could do down in Port St. Lucie this year. So, very well. I think this team has a lot of good potential, and hopefully, today's game will be a really good matchup. Max Scherzer, Sandy Alcantara. It's definitely going to be very competitive in today's game. Back, but also, it's going to be challenging. Also, too, with the pitch count, with the new pitch count, situation, with the pitch clock, and then finally brought back the non switching of the fields. I like that we're now finally going back to regular strategy baseball in that aspect, but and then they're kind of like nitpick on how where you have to be in the outfield, in the infield and stuff like that. They kind of still picking on that. They're working on that, But the pitch clock, I have a lot to say on that, but I think I'll go about the pitch clock and the rules on another episode. But I really do. I have strong opinions on it. Me personally, I don't like it, but a lot of people like it. But that will be for a whole nother episode. But let's see what happens this year. I think the Mets got a lot to offer, in my honest opinion, this year. Even though with the additions being out, at Windy is, I mean, listen, one guy doesn't make a break. I kind of look at it that way, because we have really good arms in there. Drew Smith, you got Dave Robinson in there, you got Tommy Hunter. So, I mean, those guys could very well do it. You just never know. Somebody needs to now come in and step up, and that's what it is. Somebody to just come in and step up and just be that guy. So, very well, the Mets do have a lot to offer this year. If you guys love the show, please always tweet, like, and subscribe. If you guys would like to check out our website, you guys can do that by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. We give you everything New York Mets. We give you live streams, Met live streams, no interruptions, no advertisements, no hassles, and no worries. All you have to do is just sign up, and for just $19 a month, you get every live Mets game, no interruptions, and you get our podcast shows, and you also get prizes when you sign up. So it doesn't hurt to check it out. You can go to MetsXMFanZone.com for all of your New York Mets coverage. So check it out today. I would love to thank you guys for watching here in our episode. We would like to thank our sponsor for sponsoring here on our show today, SB Sports Athletics. They do all Mets gear throughout the whole entire season. So don't forget to check that out by going on to our website at MetsXMFanZone.com/SB Sports Athletics to get all of your New York Mets gear all under in one spot. We would love to see you guys come chat in the comment section down below. We're willing to do that all day today. We got Mets opening day. Absolutely excited. You get to see Max Scherzer on the mound to start the season off right here in Miami. We got Max Scherzer at 4:10 against Sandy Alcantara for the Miami Marlins. We'll see you guys at 2 o'clock for your Mets coverage. So be well, be safe. Let's go Mets, and check out everything that has to offer on the MetsXMFanZone live broadcast. We'll see you guys real soon at 2 o'clock. Be safe, be well. Let's go Mets, and we'll see you at the 2 o'clock hour.